Hi. How many of you remember that movie, Grumpy Old Men? Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, right? Funny story. Well, if you look around, there's a lot of grumpy old men running around here in Atlanta. Well, not really running around, but they're around here. You probably know them. They might be your friends, family members, and if you're really lucky, you probably married one of them. Yeah. I want you to know that I'm a real authority on the topic of grumpy old men. I'm not one of them. But please don't provoke me because you'll really feel sorry. My authority in being knowing about this topic is because I have two impeccable credentials. The first one is that I am a man, and the second one is that I'm 90 years of age. At 90, I just barely heard that. But on a more serious note, there is a darker side to being grumpy old men. And what I'm here is to give you some insights and some understanding of what is happening and what creates and contributes to that concept of grumpiness. I think, though, it's a better way that I can tell you is by telling you a story about a conversation that I had with Charlie, a friend of mine, who was bold enough and courageous enough to open up to me and to tell me about his struggles about aging and about his identity as he begins to grow older. I got a call from Charlie. He said he wanted to come to Atlanta and that he wanted to get together. And I said, sure, fine. Charlie was this kind of a guy who was a very bold, a very confident, a very, I don't know what you would call him, but he was a go-getter. That's the word. He was a go-getter. Very handsome, very popular with the ladies. Oh, yeah. Whenever we told Charlie to slow down, to take it easy, he would look and he would say, hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. I couldn't keep up with Charlie. Hey, Charlie, wait up. I can't keep up with you. And he'd say, sure you can, just man up. A man's got to do what a man's got to do and man up. Those were two of Charlie's favorite expressions. Charlie couldn't understand how two men could be close and hug each other. He felt that staying at home dads were just for guys that were just too damn lazy to get a real man's job. He was the kind of a guy who felt that men should be tough. You don't take any crap from anybody. And what you really do is never, but never walk away from a fight. Anybody know somebody like Charlie? Yeah. When Charlie arrived, I took him to a joint where we used to hang out before he left and moved away. I bought us a pitcher of beer, picked up some pretzels, looked around the room and see if I could find a quiet spot. We sat down and we started shooting the breeze. Small talk at first. You know, how you doing, Charlie? How's the family? What's up? Do you still hear from Bill? You know, blah, 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 a story like that. But as we were having this conversation, I began to realize that I felt that Charlie wanted to talk about something else. So I said to Charlie, hey, Charlie, What's wrong? And Charlie says, wrong? Wrong? No, there's nothing wrong. Come on, Charlie. We go back a long, long way. What's bugging you? There was a long pause, and Charlie looked down at his beard. He shook his head slowly, and he said, you know, when I was young, I was always thinking about the things that I wanted to do, always thinking about the future. And now, I only think about the past. I think about family. I think about my friends. I think about the things that I've done. I think about the things that I should have done. You know, those shoulda, woulda, coulda type of things. Yeah. I don't see things in the same way anymore. Just before, I went to clean up some things up in the attic, and I found this photo book. I opened it up, and wow, there's my old Army buddies. You know, some of them, they're not going to be coming back. And then I turned the page, and I see my favorite red truck. If I hadn't been so broke, I never would have sold it. And then I turned another page, and I see a picture of my old girlfriend. Boy, she was something else. I can't remember why we broke up. But all of these wonderful memories were about the past. Good memories, bad memories, funny memories, sad memories. But always about the past, the damn past. Now things look completely different, said Charlie. And he said, I worry about my health. You know, I see these guys, they got knees that are replaced, hips that are replaced. They've got more hardware in their body than Home Depot. And these guys, I see them walking, you know, all bent over, looking down at the sidewalk. You think that they were looking for money that they think that somebody dropped. When I was young, I used to get a cold. 5, 6 days, didn't matter. I got over it. Today, I get a simple cold, and I ask myself, is this the beginning? Is this the beginning of something that's worse? My eyes, I don't see so good anymore. Next week, I have to renew my driver's license. How am I going to pass that test, that eye test? Huh? How am I going to do it? I didn't think you had the ideas either. My hearing. I make all sorts of excuses about my hearing. There's nothing wrong. It's just that restaurant. It's just so damn loud you can't hear anything. Then the telephone rings. I pick it up. What's wrong with this phone? The volume control doesn't work too good. I don't go to the gym anymore. What for? See the ladies doing more push-ups than I can? No thanks. And sex? Come on. Sex at my age, it's like me shooting pool with a rope. But I'll really tell you what's scary. I can't remember things. God. No, don't tell me it's just one of those senior moment kind of things. I know better than that. God, please don't ever let that happen to me. I don't think that I could really live with that. I try to act as if everything is okay. You know, I don't need anything. I'm fine. You know. People try to give me advice, and I say to them, I know that. What do you think? I'm an idiot or something? I snap back at people that I love. No reason at all. I'm getting to be a real pain in the ass. And then I see Charlie sit back, look around the room, and look really scared and desperate. And he looks at me and he says, I don't know who I am anymore. I only had my manhood, and I'm losing my manhood. I'm losing me. I don't know who I am anymore. So tell me, who am I? What am I? You tell me. God, he caught me off balance. I didn't know what the hell to say to him. So I just blurted out, I don't know what to tell you, Charlie. But, you know, maybe if you tell other people what you're telling me, maybe you could learn something from them. Maybe learn something from yourself. Charlie looks back at me and he says, now what the hell is that supposed to mean? Whoa, I figured, you know, I'm not going to answer that one. I better keep my mouth shut. Well, Charlie keeps talking, and I just keep listening. Charlie gives a big sigh. He looks down at his watch. He stands up, and he sticks out his hand. But I don't take it. I stand up and I walk up towards him. I put my arms around him and I give him a big hug. I feel his body just begin to tense up, but he doesn't pull away. Then he steps back and he looks at me really right square in the eye. And then he turns around and without another word, he just walks away. I never heard from Charlie ever again. I think about him. I sometimes even wonder, why did Charlie ever hug me back? I once even asked myself, is it possible? Is it possible that Charlie realized that when he did something that a man is not supposed to do, that he realized that nothing was taken away from him? That the only thing that we could ever be is just another human being. I don't know. Maybe. Well, that's my story. And you know, all stories don't have a happy ending. And some stories, you know, they're still in the works. What do you think happened to Charlie? And if you were me, when Charlie said, who am I? What am I? Tell me. What would you have said to him? Lots of questions, right? But isn't that what life is really all about? Well, I don't know. I think that when we are in positions like that, we feel that we just cannot function because we lose who we are. And what is it that we old grumpy men want? We want to belong. We want to feel that we've made a contribution. And though we realize that the real contributions have been made by you guys, by your generation, where stay-at-home dads aren't just for weak guys anymore, and where young men and young women can be real friends and have a mutual respect from each other. Those are the kind of accomplishments that you have done. We want to feel a part of that. Don't give up on those guys who are still grumpy. Do what I did with Charlie. Okay? Help to make them talk. Make them listen. You listen. Don't give them any advice. They're not going to take it anyway. But I think that the feeling of we are part of your generation and you want us to be part of our generation, that's the important thing that we could then come to feel. And just you being here today, that's what you have helped make me feel. So I thank you.